Hello and welcome. My name is Michaela Silverthorne, and if you have not seen any of my previous videos, I am female. I was born female. I went through some masculinizing transitioning, and then I stopped doing that. I say this to explain why I have a deep voice and to help people understand why I'm talking about this subject. So, the subject of today's video is pronouns. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of people asking me what my pronouns are. I've never liked it. Not when I thought I was transgender. Not before either. I think it's kind of weird to go up and ask somebody, hey, should I call you a person that has male parts or female parts? It's kind of like going up and asking someone, like, what's in your pants? For me, that's how I feel about it. It feels uncomfortable for me. And I don't like that people are making such a big deal about it. I don't like that it's become a thing on all social media, because it is a social media thing. It's a trendy thing to be like, oh, my pronouns are this. I'm so forward moving. Look at me. I'm up with the times because I told people my pronouns. And I think there are plenty of individuals who identify as transgender who would agree that the whole pronoun thing is overextended and exaggerated. And I don't really understand why we gotta go around asking everyone what their pronouns are. You know, if you're not sure what someone wants to be called, maybe just don't call them anything. That's usually what I do. If I'm like, I can't tell if that person wants to be referred to as a man or a woman, I don't use a pronoun. Like, you could easily just use their name or be like, hey, I would like to talk to you. You don't have to use a pronoun. Maybe if you speak Spanish, it's a little different. But I feel like in English, you can really get away with not using pronouns pretty much any of the time. And if you need to know for legal reasons, you usually look at their driver's license. My driver's license says I'm male, even though I was not born male, and I do not identify as a male. But my driver's license says I'm male, so if I go and stay at a hostel, I have to stay with the guys, which is kind of awkward. All because my driver's license says I'm a man. And yeah, that's not something I ever thought about before. But this video is not about that topic. It's about pronouns. Like, I would love to hear other people's comments. Do you like when people ask you what your pronouns are? Does it make you feel like validated? Does it make you feel happy? Or does it make you feel uncomfortable? Because for me, I have always felt uncomfortable with people asking me my pronouns. Like, what, you can't tell what I want to go by the way I'm dressed? You can't tell if I look like a man or a woman? Like, I feel like it's actually more offensive to ask someone what their pronouns are than to just go with what you think, and then if you're wrong, be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then use the one that they asked you to use. I would much rather that happen than people constantly be asking me, hey, should I call you a man or a woman? And at this point, I've gotten comfortable enough in myself to be like, yes, sometimes people are going to refer to me as a man because I had the testosterone levels of a man, for 4 years of my life, and now my voice is deep like a man's. And so, yes, sometimes people do think I'm a man. And there are times that actually comes to my advantage. If I'm in a place where I feel unsafe, I can kind of be like, oh, yeah, I'm not female. Hear my voice? I'm totally man, right? I can kind of play with people a little bit on it. Not to say that changing my voice was a good idea by any means. But the point is if you have transitioned, you don't have to look at it like this giant mistake, this horrible thing that you did. You can look at it and be like, wow, those were not the greatest choices I made as a young adult. Age 18 is not really an adult. You do not have an adult brain at age 18. And yet we are allowed to make many, many adult decisions at that age and younger. So when people come up to me and ask me, what are your pronouns? What do you want to go by? What should I call you? It's kind of like their way of saying, hey, I can't tell if you're female or male. And to me, I'm like, well, just make an assumption, frankly. And I think the people out there who are really sensitive to someone saying the thing that they don't want to be called, that is your own battle, that is your own journey. We shouldn't have everyone in the world walking on broken glass for some people who are sensitive about a topic. People all are sensitive about different things. If someone's been traumatized by dogs and they go to the grocery store, they go to Walmart or something, and there's somebody with a dog there, you can't avoid your triggers, no matter what they are. And I think accepting what people want to be called is important. I think that we should honor people and be like, yeah, if you want to go by that name, I should call you that name. What I don't think we should do is be changing what everyone else does because somebody might get uncomfortable about it. I even had a guy who I had been intimate with, who knew my entire story, come up and ask me after I came back from a trip. I was gone for 2 months. And he comes up and asks me, what are your pronouns? And I wanted to tell him, like, we've slept together. We have been naked together in the same bed. Why are you asking me what my pronouns are? He also knew that I had been transgender and then let go of it and didn't want anything to do with it anymore. And he still has to come up and ask me and be like, just making sure you didn't change your mind. So you want to make sure that I haven't decided that, oh, you know what, I want to be a man. Oh, you know what, I want to be a woman. It's like he's making the assumption that I'm going to keep changing my mind back and forth. And again, I would rather you just go with what you think is true. Do I present more like a man or do I present more like a woman? I think it makes a lot more sense to be like, okay, this person's presented very femininely. They look very girly. I should refer to them as a girl. Or, oh, this person looks very masculine. I should refer to them as a boy. And if you refer to them as a boy and you find out they're just a butch lesbian, then you can be like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. It doesn't need to be a big deal. If we say the wrong thing, that's human nature. We all make mistakes. And I don't want to walk on broken glass around everybody. And I don't want everyone else to feel like they're walking on broken glass around me. If you want to tell me what you want to be called, great. Cool. That's fine. I'm not going to go out of my way to disrespect you. If you make it clear that you want to be called a certain thing, all right. I'm never going to purposely refer to something that makes someone else uncomfortable. This video isn't about taking away people's power, making them feel lesser than. This video is about the fact that we need to face our own insecurities and stop blaming everyone else for not treating us like a newborn baby. And that might be a little bit of an extreme way to say it. But I really do mean that as, like, you need to thicken your skin. You need to grow up. You need to face your demons. We all do. We all have pain and suffering. And I am somebody who's been traumatized by dogs. You know how hard it is for me to go somewhere where there's no dogs? That doesn't happen. Everywhere I go, even places where there are signs saying no dogs, no, people still bring their dogs there. I cannot avoid my own insecurities. I cannot avoid my own past sufferings. And neither can you. They're going to keep coming up. And you have to just thicken your skin to it. Be like, you know what? That person used the wrong pronoun. I can either let them know that, hey, you used the wrong pronoun and I actually go by this, or I can just not react and not care because I'm only going to talk to this person for the next 2 minutes and then never see them again in my life. We need to stop needing other people to see us a certain way. It matters how you see yourself and how you view yourself. It doesn't matter what people call you. It doesn't matter what other people say about you. It matters what you say about you in your head. In your head, are you that beautiful, wonderful person that you want to be? Are you seeing that in your life? Are you taking action like that person that you wish to be? Or is this person saying something to you and causing you to feel an upset reaction because you're not taking the action in your life to actually be the person who you want to be? Maybe you feel insecure because they refer to you with the wrong pronoun and now you feel like, oh, I don't look like a woman enough because this person didn't refer to me as a woman, and it creates this whole anxiety within you of feeling like I have to live up to this standard. The problem isn't the person that triggered your emotional reaction. The problem is the fact that you have this insecurity inside of you that you're not dealing with, that you're not facing, that you're not working through. And a lot of transgender stuff has been about saying that we can't work through that. I am living proof that you can work through that. Go watch my other videos. I have a whole transgender playlist. This one is just about pronouns, and I am just touching on the surface right now. I want it to be said that pronouns do not need to be this humongous thing anymore. We're human beings at the end of the day. We shouldn't be so caught up in labeling ourselves as gay or as a female or as a doctor. We get so caught up in these labels and these identities. When you're alone in your room, does it matter? Do all those things that you tell everyone else that you are matter? No, because you're just enjoying yourself. You're painting or writing or doing whatever you enjoy doing. You're not thinking about that stuff. That stuff is literally just the face. Pronouns are just a face. And I don't like seeing people put so much emphasis in it. We don't need pronouns. We don't need to obsess over them. Express yourself to people who you feel like you need to express yourself to. But we don't need all of society to go and be on edge all the time because, oh, I better not say the wrong pronoun. Oh no, what if this person gets really upset and I trigger an emotional reaction to them? People are gonna have emotional reactions no matter what you say. Everyone's going through something. We don't need to walk on eggshells. That is my main message here. And again, I would love if you would comment down below this video and tell me, how do you feel when people ask you what your pronouns are? Whether you're transgender or not, I would love to hear your opinion on the subject, on how it makes you feel when people ask your pronouns. I thank you for watching this video, and I hope it gave you some perspective on just realizing you don't have to go along with what everyone else is doing. You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to feel different about subjects without being racist or transphobic or some other offensive term that says that you hate everyone. You're allowed to disagree with people without being a hateful, disgusting human. Now, have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing day.